What problems did ORMs solve in database management? Imagine trying to talk to a database using only a language it doesn't understand. That's what working directly with raw SQL can feel like for many developers. Now, picture having a translator that makes this conversation smooth and simple. That's what object-relational mapping tools do. They solve some big problems in managing data and storage. First, writing SQL queries for common tasks like creating, reading, updating, or deleting data can be tedious and error-prone. ORMs hide this complexity by letting you work with objects in your programming language instead of writing long SQL commands. This makes your code cleaner and easier to understand. Another challenge was the mismatch between how programming languages handle data and how databases store it. Programming languages use objects with properties and methods, while databases organize data in tables with rows and columns. ORMs automatically translate between these two formats. They map objects to database tables and object properties to table columns, so you don't have to do this manually. This automatic translation saves time and reduces mistakes. Code maintainability was also a big concern. When developers had to mix SQL code with application code, it became hard to read and update. ORMs unify the way data is handled, so you work in one language throughout your project. This makes debugging, updating, and extending your application much easier. Plus, switching databases becomes less of a headache. ORMs create a layer that shields your code from database-specific SQL dialects. If you want to change from one database system to another, you just need to adjust the ORM configuration, not rewrite your entire codebase. Security is another area where ORMs shine. They use parameterized queries internally, which help prevent SQL injection attacks. This means your application is safer without extra effort from you. Using ORMs also speeds up development. Since routine database operations are handled automatically, you can focus on building features instead of writing repetitive SQL code. Some ORMs even include caching features that store frequently accessed data closer to your application. This reduces the load on your database and makes your app respond faster. In real-world backend development, using an ORM makes working with databases more straightforward. You write code that's easier to read and maintain, and you don't need to be an SQL expert to manage data effectively. They help you build scalable, secure, and flexible applications by handling the details of database communication behind the scenes. This is why ORMs are such a helpful tool in modern backend development.